Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you being here. As always, we got some interesting Sony news. So this is in regards to the PlayStation Fan. A lot of people have been like, oh, that sucker's so big on the PlayStation 5. Well, this is an interesting article talking about how they will optimize the PlayStation 5 performance based on software updates and stuff. Pretty interesting that they're able to modify performance of actual hardware through system updates. So we're going to go ahead and read this. This is courtesy of The Verge. This just came out today. Just finding out all the fine little like technical intricacies of the PlayStation 5 is just so amazing to read and take a look at. So we're going to go ahead and read this article. If this is your first time coming to the channel, if you've never subscribed before, for whatever reason, why don't you click the red subscription button down below. Enable your bell notifications so you do not miss when I upload. So this says Sony will optimize PlayStation 5 fan performance with software updates using individual game data. The cooling device's performance will improve over time. And look at this. This looks like a car part. Does it not? This looks like something you're going to put in your air conditioner or your car. Like, for real. That's like bigger than his hand. So it says Sony's next-gen PlayStation 5 console has a massive internal cooling system composed of, among other things, a gigantic fan. Gigantic fan indeed. But the device, a 120mm wide and 45mm thick double-sided intake fan, also has some smart software to power it. And that software will improve the fan's performance over time based on data gathered from individual games, according to a new interview with Yoshihiro Otori, who's Sony's mechanical design chief in charge of the PlayStation 5. So, this fan, it will improve performance over time based on data gathered from individual games. So, individual games. So, one game might be a little bit more heavy on needing the cooling and the fan, and another one might not. And based on data collected from those games is how it's going to perform over time. That's interesting. So a launch title may initially not use the fan enough, and then a week later it will use it through a system update or something. They're essentially patching the performance of the fan, and I think that's kind of neat. So it says Otori was responsible for the refreshing teardown video Sony published earlier this month, showing off the entire console inside and out, and a 7-minute video that revealed some telling new details, and it showed a lot about the mechanical design of the device. In the new interview, as translated by Reset Era user Orzcare, I don't even know how to read that username, Otori points out that the fan will be controlled by the PS5's accelerating processing unit, APU for short, the custom AMD combined CPU GPU chip that powers the console. So there's a chip that controls this fan, and you can look at this double-sided fan. The inside of this console was just an amazing awe to look at, honestly. So it says various games will be released in the future, and data on the APU's behavior in each game will be collected, Otori says. We have a plan to optimize the fan control based on this data. Otori explains that multiple temperature sensors are placed on the console's main board to collect data while the APU runs any given game, and that data is what will allow Sony to optimize the fan going forward on a per game basis. So there's temperature sensors on the console's main board that collect the data while the APU runs any given game. So that's actually, this sounds pretty fancy. You know, it's not just a fan thrown in there that just blows aimlessly. This is like a smart fan. This fan collects the data on any given game, sees how it performs, and then sends it. And that data allows Sony to optimize the fan going forward on a per game basis. I've never heard of something like that. So that's quite interesting. It says Otori also reveals a pretty neat detail about the testing of the PS5's cooling system, which involved making a transparent chassis and pumping the smoke from dry ice through to observe the effects on internal temperature. So That is pretty neat. Their cooling system is actually really neat too. So this was a translated post, and you can see this is from a Japanese website originally. So translation sometimes doesn't work quite right on Google, but if for whatever reason you could read Japanese or you want to take a look at it for yourself, this website had it translated on here. Doesn't seem, oh, there it goes. And yeah, you could see he translated, talked, went into discussion. His teardown was pretty informative, really good, really detailed. I thoroughly enjoyed looking at the aspects of it, seeing all the options, all the ports, even the vertical stand that we were able to see. And Google Translate kind of sometimes messes up stuff, so I don't know how accurate this interview or this explanation would be. But nevertheless, it is really interesting to see how this fan works. This fan is a big selling point for the technology of the PlayStation. And you can see right here, this reset form right here talks about everything, like answering the liquid metal, talks about the cooling system in depth. So you can see all this right here. This is all translated from the interview. A lot to go on. We could sit here all day and read it. But I will leave links to all this stuff down below in the description so you guys could go and see for yourself. I mean, PlayStation 5 as a console has a lot of little stuff inside of it that is very interesting, and it all works in one solid like little package. Between the fan, like seeing the new thing for the fan and how that works is pretty impressive. And I know some people are like, dude, it's just a fan. I don't recall any other console working the same way like that, where software updates and data being sent will allow a fan to properly operate individually game based. So let's see how it works. I cannot wait to open up my PlayStation 5 when I get it and play that sucker. I think the first game I'm gonna try, of course, Miles Morales. I'm a big Spider-Man guy, so that's gonna be the game I want to sink the teeth into and see if my cooling fan will adapt for better performance over it. And then, of course, Demon's Souls, Astro's Playroom, Godfall, Returnal. Those are the games that are on my list right now. I always get asked which PlayStation games I'm wanting to check out. But anyways, guys, enough of my rambling. What do you guys think about the tech behind the cooling fan? This sounds interesting, right? I want to know your thoughts, your opinions down in the comment section down below. Also, hit that subscription button if you haven't. I appreciate it. We're getting closer and closer to the PlayStation 5 launch. I'll see you guys soon.